All right, we are now joined by Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 Wrigley Toyota. Currently 13th in points, has one win on this season. Obviously a big weekend for you guys. Talk a little bit about coming to Atlanta.
Yeah, just looking forward to getting to Atlanta here and seeing what we have and what's in store for us. We've had success here in the past, and we've also not had such great success here in the past, so we'll see what kind of weekend this is for us. So looking forward to driving the Double Mint Camry and getting it up front where we have a chance to win come 500 miles on Sunday.
All right, we'll go ahead and kick it off with Ed and then come to Tom.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Kyle, we just had three guys come through here who are very well set in the chase and comfortable, and saying that they can relate and that they have some sympathy for you being a talented driver, just with a real hanging by a thread situation. Does it surprise you that other drivers would feel for you or anybody who's trying to make the chase when they're in the middle of it themselves?
No, I mean, I was asked the same question last year, and I said, yeah, I mean, you sympathize for those guys down there because you know what kind of situation they're going through, and you never want to put yourself in that situation. So roles were exactly reversed last year for us, and somebody's always going to be in that position. Doesn't matter what year it is. Somebody's going to be locked in, and somebody's not. Whether it's your year to be locked in or not is, I guess, is given to the fact of what I have in front of me now.
Also, both Jimmy and Matt were talking about that if you do make it, then they feel like you're going to be an instant threat. So they got mixed emotions about you making it too. Matt says the years he struggled to get in, it was because his performance down. Yours is not. There's been more flat tires and things like that. And Jimmy also says, if he makes it, that's a loaded gun there. With the troubles that your team's had off and on this year and the frustrations, could it be that you get rid of a little of that bad luck? Could you put together a chase run like you've never had before? I mean, a really good one, the one they fear the most?
Yeah, I don't see any reason as to why we wouldn't be able to go out there and contend for the championship if we were given the opportunity to make the chase. We've just got to solidify our chances here this weekend and next weekend in Richmond and do everything right the way that we know how to do it. And be a chase contender when the checker flag flies at Richmond next weekend. And then from there, go on into the final 10 weeks and bust our butts to put together 10 great weeks. So there's no reason why we can't. Don't see our competition or the way that we're running as why we're in the 13th position. It's just due to dumb circumstances.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
Hi, Kyle. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. You're back in the truck this weekend. You've won 30 truck races and 101 career starts. Does racing the truck on a weekend when you're at the track with the Cup Series give you an added level of confidence, an added level of comfort? Is it just for fun? Does it help you in the Cup race?
I've always said that I felt like it's an opportunity to get out there on the racetrack and feel what the tires like, feel what the track conditions are like, what they do from day to night, what they do from a green racetrack to rubbering up. So, to me, it's just always about getting that track time and just making sure that you're feeling all the correct things that you're feeling. Sometimes you get a false sense of security when you're in the Cup car, not sure, it's loose, but how loose is it, and I get to understand more of that when I drive more vehicles.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Was it difficult to get the okay from Joe or JD to run the truck? And does the number of truck and or nationwide races you have left for this year depend on whether you make the chase or not?
No, it wasn't tough to get the okay. Actually, I never asked. They told me a few weeks ago that if I wanted to go run, I could go run. So we're just playing out the rest of the year as we will with other drivers that we have that are capable of running the truck as well. Brian Scott's got some more races that he wants to run, so we're going to let him run. And then Denny, I think he might let him run a couple more too, and we'll see what other races, if any, Kurt wants to run or myself.
All right, go ahead, Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Kyle, just a question related to your truck team. Last year you had Kimi Räikkönen, at that time unemployed F1 driver in one of your trucks. which caused big media attendance or surprise over in Europe. You plan to do something similar in the long or near-term future?
No plans. No, none at all. Kimi's doing his F1 deal now, actually, and I think that whole deal kind of came together through George Gillette and another agent type person. So haven't heard from either one of those in a year and a half.
All right. Go ahead.
Jason Scholl on NASCAR.com. Kyle, looking ahead to Richmond, as well as you've run there and with as tight as the wild card picture is, how do you look at that track knowing it's kind of your ace in the hole?
I don't know. We were in this situation, I think 2009 or 10. I don't remember which one. 9 maybe. And we had to go to Richmond, and we had to finish 5 spots, I think it was, ahead of Brian Vickers. And we finished 5th, which was great. But you know, Brian Vickers finished 8th, so we missed the chase that night. And it's not necessarily one that you bank on going there and getting a win or anything like that. You feel like you can run well, but I've struggled there in the past. But you just do what you got. Do what you need to do to run as well as you can. There's definitely never any guarantees you're going to show up to the racetrack and win. You just got to work hard and communicate with your crew chief the best you can and not get too frustrated when things aren't exactly correct, but yet be determined enough that you can get them fixed and get out there and make the most of your opportunity.
All right. We'll go ahead and go to Brian Nelson and then Ryan. Right here.
Brian Nelson, MRN. I don't know if you heard Dale talking about the whole personality orientation of the sport, but unlike many sports where people grow up playing basketball or baseball or whatever, I mean, the average person doesn't know much about the ins and outs of motorsports, and consequently, racing becomes a personality-oriented sport. And I'm wondering how it affects you to be viewed and engaged as a personality rather than having the ability to just focus on racing 24/7. How does that impact you?
I mean, I think it impacts everybody a little bit differently. Me particularly, you know, it's just something that you don't really focus much attention on. You know, I'm out there to run hard and to get a race car as fast as I can get it and to push hard around the rest of the competitors that you have out there on the racetrack. So for me, it's tough to sometimes know exactly whether you're, you know, being a good personality or being a good race car driver. To me, it's just always been more focus on the racetrack rather than off the racetrack.
All right. Go ahead, Ryan.
Ryan McGee, the ESPN. When we've talked to other drivers that are in this wild card hunt with you, they all specifically said we're worried about Kyle at Bristol and at Richmond. You know, they talk about those two in particular. Have you broken it down like that? Like weeks ago, did you look at it and say, man, if we're going to make a move, we really need to make it here or there? Have you broken it down that much?
No, I've just broken it down that we need to run like we have all year. We just need to push hard and do the best we can. Get a good race car out there on the racetrack. I mean, that's all it boils down to. You know, I'm not going to make the chase by suffering through a bad day and finishing 20th. We know that. So if you've got a good car and you push as hard as you can and you get solid finishes, those are going to take care of themselves. But obviously the win would be nice, and that would lock yourself in a heck of a lot easier. So either way, you know, we'll like right now, I feel like if we run top 5 both these weeks and don't score a win, I feel like we still have a really good shot at getting in. Or if we run 20th this week, then you know, going into Richmond, it may take a win to make it in. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right. Claire, do you have a question? Okay.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I always felt at the beginning of the year that you and Dave Rogers would be the perfect combination. I still feel that way, but tough times probably test the combination more than great times, which everybody can weather. How is it between you and Dave Rogers now? And do you think that these are character-building times for the two of you as a driver-crew chief combo?
Yeah, things are fine. Things are really good. Dave's actually, he works tremendously hard. He works a lot of hours and does a really good job. And I feel like our engineering staff does too. You know, they work really, really good and work really, really hard at trying to give us best opportunities to making our cars go better. So Dave and I's relationship's great, and you know, he's actually, you ask him that same question and he'll probably have a lot of praise for me, which he's given me, but you know, I still try to work as hard as I can each and every week and humble him and tell him I'm not really doing that great of a job. It's just a matter of working as hard as we can and keeping a level head and keeping our focus forward.
All right, go ahead, Jeff, and then we'll end. Yep, go ahead.
Jeff Buck from SBNation.com. Listening to you last week and this week, it seems like you feel like you've done everything you can, and you know, luck is what's brought you down. So that said, given that you've given the effort that you think you need, is this stressful for you? Like these weeks coming up, and being in this situation, is this like personally stressful?
Yeah, it's definitely stressful. You don't work as hard as you do all year long to suffer along through a season and miss a chase. I mean, obviously, you know, we missed the chase, and we're just going to be another race car out there on the racetrack running around in circles for the rest of the year. So, you know, that's how I feel about it. That's what it feels like, and we certainly don't want to be in that position. So, we want to make the chase, and we want to go out there and have the opportunity to race for a championship and be making circles for a reason, and be making circles for wins and what have you. So, that's just what the year's kind of drawn out of me, I guess. It's just been a frustrating season and a tough one that's tried to bring us down, and you know, there really hasn't been too much to be excited about this year. So hopefully we can make the chase and try to turn our focus a little bit towards you know, putting smiles on.
All right, go ahead.
David Close from CNN. Speaking of stress and jumping ahead a few races, what's your feeling about Talladega and what a wild card race that is?
Yeah, Talladega's always a wild card race. It's you know, I finished one race there without getting damage on it, and I won. All the rest of them I've wrecked, or been torn up, or have been in the garage area, or have been backwards through the grass, or something else. So it's certainly a race that is not all in your control. There's a lot of other things and circumstances that can happen that take you out of a good opportunity to run well. So we've had fast race cars at Talladega. It's a fun racetrack. It's certainly challenging. As far as the physical attribute, it doesn't take anything to steer a car around a racetrack and run it wide open. But when it boils down to the mental game of that race, it certainly will drain you quite a bit. And when you're all said and done with that race, you wonder where the 500 miles went.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.